Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astroguide Mysore, and today I am clarifying a particular point on conjunction of planets. Because there are a lot of people asking me that conjunction, does it happen in the Rashi chart or the Bhava chart? Please explain. So it is neither from the Rashi chart nor from the Bhava chart that you should see conjunction. You should see conjunction from a given planet. So let us explain this. So here, if I take first conjunction, let me take with Sun and Moon to make you understand how it works. So I'll take Sun here in Simha Rashi at 5 degrees, okay, and Moon in Karkataka Rashi, that is in Cancer, at 27 degrees. So normally when you see the Rashi Kundali, you will be seeing Sun differently placed in Simha, that is in Leo, and Moon differently placed in Cancer. So do they really have a conjunction? Do they really have a relationship between themselves? To understand this, you need to understand the degrees of separation, the longitudinal separation, the distance between Sun and Moon. So, if we understand that longitudinal difference here, there are only 3 degrees, that is 27 to 30, and then 5 degrees between Sun and Moon. So, from Moon, I have taken that, and so it is totally 8 degrees. So, when any planet is sitting on either side of Sun, we need to take the orb of Sun. Orb of Sun is 15 degrees on either side. And that is how this 30 degrees has come into play. So 15 degrees on either side, and now here Moon is here at 8 degrees from Sun. Obviously, this is very much conjunct, and we call this Amavasya. That is because Moon is behind Sun within 12 degrees. So, this 12 degree, what is this 12 degree then? 12 degrees is the orb of Moon. So, if I take Moon, either side, it is 12 degrees. For Sun, it is 15 degrees, and for Moon, it is 12 degrees. So, let us take 12 degrees. So, if Moon is within 12 degrees from Sun, this particular span is called as one Tithi, or it is called Amavasya if it is behind. And if the same Moon goes ahead and it is within 12 degrees, after 12 degrees, it will be next Tithi. So, every 12 degrees, it is one Tithi. So, this particular Tithi will be called Prathami or Padya, that is the first Tithi after the Amavasya. We call it as Shukla Paksha Padya, and this is Amavasya, which is the 15th Tithi of the Krishna Paksha. That is, moon starts becoming darker and darker, and you get the new moon day, and then you get the first moon starting, that is Pratami. So, this is with regard to sun and moon. I think this is visible. Yes. Okay. Let us do another yoga. See, yogas are this Amavasya is also a yoga of sun and moon. Because conjunctions, people are confused with regard to yogas. I will also come with and do the individual planetary placement and yogas. That is also, people are very confused as to whether to see that in the Bhava chart or see that in the Rashi chart. Let us once and for all solve all these things and then go ahead with other classes, because whatever we speak, and if we do not have the clarity on conjunction itself, after 700 classes, then if people are asking me about conjunction, I was a little scared as to what's happening. But there was a long gap, when I came into, again, I'm doing these classes because the whole family, we got affected by a strong viral as good as a COVID. So there is still a lot of chest congestion. But anyway, I am fine now and I'll be doing these classes. So let us go into the North Indian style so that we'll understand yoga. So let us take this as Leo Ascendant and 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have put Moon here along with Jupiter. So just writing like this, people think that yes, there is a Gajakesari yoga, a fantastic yoga that is happening in the sign of Scorpio. Moon is debilitated. We know that Moon is debilitated there, but still, so Leo, Virgo, this is Libra, and this is Scorpio. So we put numbers there in the North Indian style. So just writing like this, you will not know whether the strength of conjunction is strong or not. So if anybody has to actually study the strength of the yoga or strength of conjunction, you need to study Tajaka as a subject, and also you need to study the first chapter of the 300 important yogas written by B.V. Raman to understand the strength of a yoga. Very nicely, beautifully, he has given how to numerically, assess the strength of a yoga, and then you will be able to tell whether from 0 to 10 how much is the strength of a yoga is there. And opposite to that, if there is another yoga which is again 0 to 10, it is stronger, it will cancel or it will complement. All these things we need to study. We'll do all this in the next classes. So here, let us say, now I'll put the degrees and you will understand that Moon is at 0, 2 degrees. And Jupiter, though it was printed in the computer, very nicely next to it, is at 28 degrees. So now, taking the orb of Moon on either side, it is 12 degrees, right? So, Moon is at 2 degrees. Plus 12 degrees is 14 degrees. So that is the end of the orb. So 14 degrees on either side. 14 degrees on either side. I am not going to the backside of it, because if I take 12 degrees and go behind, it will be 20th degree. 20th degree. Why? 2 here and 10 back. So it will be 20th degree of Tula Rashi or Libra. But here I am going ahead because Jupiter is ahead of Moon. So if I take 2 degrees plus 12 degrees, it is 14 degrees. So where is Jupiter? It is much ahead of it. Another 14 degrees. So Jupiter is much ahead. Another 14 degrees, it will be 28 degrees. So Jupiter is here. So if Jupiter is there, how can you tell that there is a conjunction? Because if there is an orb of Moon, that is, orb means the strength of Moon extends only 12 degrees, and the orb of Jupiter from the center of Jupiter will extend 9 degrees on either side. So if it doesn't even cross over, I had put Venn diagrams earlier. So it is like, I put Venn diagrams. So it should at least cross over. Like, this is Jupiter and this is Moon, and you have a small place where the orbs are crossing over, though they are not fully overlapping each other. So there is no crossover also. That means this Gajakesari Yoga is only visible to the eye, but it is not fully applicable to the native's horoscope. We'll go to another one. This we will understand with regard to the Ascendant. I'll not call it as a yoga, but still from the Ascendant. So I'll do it in the South Indian style. So if I take the Ascendant here at 15 degrees, so 15 degrees, very midpoint, beautifully placed Ascendant. So, and if I see the 10th house placed Jupiter is giving rise to a strong Hamsa Yoga or not. So this yoga part we will come into detail in the next classes, but let me do that. So if Jupiter is placed here and here, two places, I'm just giving you a thought to understand. If Jupiter is here is at 28 degrees and Jupiter is here at 0, 1 degree, here at 0, 1, and if at all it is here at 28. Does the Hamsa Yoga, because what is Hamsa Yoga? When Jupiter is placed in the Kendra, that is the quadrant from the ascendant, and also is either exalted or in its own sign. So here it is in a Kendra, that is the 10th Kendra, 10, 11, 12, correct? So 10th Kendra, and it is exalted. Obviously, this is exaltation and this is very much near to exaltation, 28 degrees. This is exaltation because it exalts between 0 to 5 degrees. 0 to 5 degrees exaltation of Jupiter. Good. So, but are both of these exaltations the same? Does the 28-degree Hamsa Yoga also give you the same result as the 1-degree Hamsa Yoga? Think about it. Because this 1-degree Hamsa Yoga is happening between the 9th and the 10th houses, and this Hamsa Yoga is happening between the 10th and the 11th houses. There is a difference. So all these intricate things, the small things, are very important to understand.
If they start understanding the degrees.
Yeah, degrees are very important, or else there is no fun in doing astrology, just leaving the degrees aside. I'll do one more thing. You should understand the Kala Sarpa Yoga. Kala Sarpa Yoga, people always think that when there is Rahu and Ketu and there are planets on either side of it, Kala Sarpa Yoga happens. There are many times that people don't understand that. Let me take this. So if this is the ascendant, okay, 5 is okay, the ascendant is okay. So if I put Rahu here, okay, and if I put Ketu here, people think that if planets are all placed on this either side, it becomes Kala Sarpa Yoga. Anyway, Kala Sarpa Yoga has not been mentioned in that detail, or it's not mentioned at all in many of the earlier texts, which are thousands of years ago, which has been very clearly mentioned by many of the major astrologers. But still, let us explain this. So, if Rahu is at, let us say 7, okay, let me take it as 12 degrees. 12 degrees Rahu. And we have Ketu, so it runs like this, okay? It runs like this. This is North Indian style. It goes anti-clockwise. And Ketu is also at 12 degrees. So if ascendant itself is at 27 degrees, if ascendant is at 27 degrees, it is within the arc of Rahu and Ketu. And if all the planets are inside that, okay, one particular tenet is that if it is inside, then the Kala Sarpa Yoga is there. Okay, let us take it. But what if ascendant is at 2 degrees? Ascendant is outside. Ascendant is outside. It doesn't come. So from 12, you will be 13, 14, 15, 16. So it will be like 12 to 30.
But it will pull that side.
No, it goes like this, no? Leo, so and so. The movement of Rahu and Ketu will be reversed always. But the movement of Rahu and Ketu is like this. Right? That is why we see between Rahu and Ketu. Because this is the head, this is the tail. We don't see it here because the Sarpa is not here. The Sarpa is like this. The Rahu will go, the Ketu will come. So the serpent is here. So that is why we see the reverse. So if it is at 2 degrees, then that means ascendant is outside the Rahu's and Ketu's line. It is not there inside at all. So the other planets might be sitting here. So this actually escapes the Kala Sarpa Yoga. But anyway, Kala Sarpa Yoga itself is a huge subject. Let us put some example charts and understand Kala Sarpa Yoga to eliminate the myth and eliminate the fear of Kalasarpa Yoga, because people unnecessarily are getting into unnecessary fear of Kalasarpa Yoga. We'll come to that later on. But conjunction of planets have to be seen from the planet itself. And if planets are not within the orb, then they are posited there in the Rashi chart and they are not conjunct, but they are in that Rashi, because one Rashi is 30 degrees. So it can be, span 30 degrees apart. So, and do not check conjunctions from Bhava chart, because in the Bhava chart, it is from the angular distance from the ascendant that each planet is placed in different bhavas, and it is nothing to do with the degrees between each planet. So, do not do conjunctions or study conjunctions from the Bhava chart, because you will not understand the nakshatra placement or the placement of planets over each nakshatra. You will not know that. So, best do it from the Rashi chart, and do some calculations are required, but don't go into so much of calculations. Keep a simple calculation such that if it is 7 degrees to 9 degrees, it is a good conjunction. It's a simple rule. Let us keep that much. So thank you very much for today's class.